Okay.
That's it.
Did you turn the mic on?
So no one will between the hearts drawing. Did you bring that page?
We're at?
Between the hearts drawing?
Same one that's been done.
No, well, no, I mean, they've drawn 50 cards, so it's been 50 weeks.
Never got that.
Well, they have a big board that
Get that
has each card a deposit. And if your number is full, and if it's between the hearts, the queen of hearts and one other number. So the pot is $126,000. Last night, one of my good friends, Tanya Atterbury, won the 50-50 drawing.
All right, everybody, thanks for coming out on this cold night. I have 7 o'clock. I'd like to go ahead and call this December 12th, 2004 Shelby County Board meetings to order. You can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us all safely to this meeting tonight. As we meet, we ask for your guidance and wisdom in our discussions. Please be with each and every one of us as we go about the county's business. But especially tonight, we pray for the friends and family of Brad Fagley, who dedicated his life to public service. Please be with them in their time of sorrow and bring them peace and comfort as they grieve. In Jesus' name.
If you could just stand with me for a second and a moment of silence for Mr. Fagley and his service to the county, please. Thank you.
Mark Bennett, Teresa Bank, Tim Brown,
Here.
Carol Cole, here. Julie Edwards, here. Chrissy Grant, here. Jeff Gray,
Here.
Clay Hardy, Keith McCormick, Christine Matlaw, here. Tad Mayhall,
Here.
Tim Morse,
Here.
Bobby Orman, Gene Price,
Here.
Austin Pritchard,
Here.
Sonny Ross,
Here.
Larry Seifert,
Here.
Don Tate,
Here.
Christy Wofford,
Here.
Brett Wallace, Chad Ganis.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to approval of minutes from the previous meeting. We'll start with the November 14, 2024 regular meeting. If I could have a motion for the minutes, please.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Ross on the motion, have a second? Mr. Tate on the second. Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Move on to the November 25th, 2024 special meeting. If I could have a motion for those minutes, please.
So moved.
Mr. Price? Second.
Second.
All right, Mr. Pritchard, any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on to the December 2nd, 2024 organizational meeting. If I could have a motion for those, please. All right. Mr. Morse? Can I
Second.
get a second on Mr. Yantis? Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We'll move on to item number 4,
to announce regretfully the vacancy of the office of Shelby County Coroner due to the death of Brad Fagley. Move on to number 5, announce the vacancy in County Board District number 1 due to the resignation of Lori Nelson. Move on to item number 6, public body comment.
There's a sheet, nobody signed it when I came in.
All right, public body comment. Kenny Smith.
So I printed this agenda out Tuesday evening, and when I was looking over it, I noticed item number 21, where Mr. Brown wants to discuss and vote to, no, I'm sorry, item number 22. No, that's not it either. It's about the treasurer, sorry. 27. Item number 27. And so I just had a couple questions. I wanted to ask Mr. Brown why he thinks a forensic audit of the treasurer's office is necessary. What would be the purpose for that? And what are you looking to accomplish with that audit?
Sure.
And then, do you want me to give you time to answer, sir, right now?
Do you want me to answer?
If Jeffy would like to.
I want to make it clear I have complete confidence in the treasurer. During the 2 years I've sat on the board, there's been just heaps and heaps of baloney hurled at the treasurer nearly every meeting. When the treasurer asks for a forensic audit, and she sent that to the entire board, you know, and by the way, who does that? Who asks to be audited? I think we need to give her a forensic audit and show that she's competent and honest, like I believe she is. And if a board member believes she is incompetent or corrupt, then vote for the audit.
Well, I would just like to say that a forensic audit costs thousands of dollars. And with a budget that's already 1.4 million in deficit, I'm not sure that that would be prudent at this time. We would have to do a forensic audit as a county anyway when she leaves that office. So that's why I wanted to ask, because I just don't think that that's a good way to spend our tax dollars at this point in time, when we're already struggling to meet the needs that we really have to have. And the vote of no confidence.
Well, confidence or no.
Or no confidence, correct. I'm not sure that that's a fair thing to ask of these new board members that have just come on to the board. That's just my opinion. And thank you for letting me ask those questions. And then, Mr. Bennett isn't here tonight? Okay, well, I have several questions for Mr. Bennett regarding the ambulance fund tax, and I'll just put them out there for all of you. That tax, I believe, was levied on the taxpayers of this county in 1988. And so what I understand is that the reason it was removed from our tax bills was because it was illegal. And I just wanted to know why it was, what were the legality concerns that caused for that tax to be rescinded from our bills? And on whose opinion did that occur? Who said it was illegal? Was that removal based on an attorney's opinion? Was it removed due to constitutional law? If so, can you provide the specific statute? Did the state of Illinois ever address this matter? Those funds belong to the taxpayers of Shelby County. And if it's legally possible, could a referendum be put on the April ballot and let the voters and taxpayers decide if they want a county ambulance service? We live in a rural community. You know, 30-plus minutes to get medical attention, emergency medical attention, is not acceptable. I'm lucky I live in town, but there are many of us in this room who do not. And when you have a deep tissue wound or a heart attack or a head injury, minutes matter. So that was just something I wanted to point out. And if we can't put that on the referendum, on the ballot in April, why not give the money back to the taxpayers to whom it legally belongs in the first place? Just my thoughts. I believe that we, the taxpayers, should have a voice in what happens to the money in that fund. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
All right, public body comment next on the list. I had Ms. Ongman. Okay.
First,
I'm going down my list first. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Welcome all the new members. I know you got a lot of work to do for not a lot of money. You know, if you can even call it money, it's very little, I know that. I know you're trying to vote on a lot of ARPA funds this evening, and I know they have to be dedicated by the end of this month, even though they don't have to be spent till 26, I understand that. But I have some questions regarding item number 12, which is in regards to animal control. There's a new truck listed there for $44,500, but there was another truck that was received there earlier this year, which wasn't the truck that was ordered in '22, and the old truck was supposed to be deemed surplus, but that's the one Brad's been driving. So my question is, what is going to be done with the other two trucks once this one, if it's approved, comes in? And one of the things, the dive team is looking for a truck, and the city of Shelbyville is looking for a truck for the park. I know that, so that may be an option for you. The next question I have is regarding item number 13, the dive team, on how many calls they had this year. And they want a new truck that costs even more than the animal control truck. And you don't need a $50,000 truck to tow a boat to the lake. You know, and it's not towed to the lake 5 times a week where it gets day in, day out use. And then where will this truck be stored? Will somebody be driving it all the time? You know, and why does a person need to drive it all the time if indeed the truck is approved? You know, I don't know that there's that many calls warning somebody have to drive a truck, drive a $50,000 truck for about 12 to 15 calls a year. And 8 computers for $6,700. Does every volunteer get a computer? How are they going to be allocated? How are they going to be stored? What kind of security is on them? Why do they need 8 computers? Number 19, deep cleaning of the courthouse. Yes, it needs it, I agree. But I find it interesting that $30,000 is a threshold where anything has to go out to bid in this county, and this price happened to come in at $29,750. And if it's that close to the $30,000, maybe it needs to go out to bid. The committees, number 33, I just want to make sure that every board member is on committees and is able to participate, because I think it's important that everybody is involved in it. When I was looking at the members online today, I noticed, and I'm in District 10, that Jeff Gregg does not have his phone number listed, so if that can maybe be corrected so that that's on there, since everybody else's phone number is. That's it.
Thank you. Okay, that's the end of my list, so I will continue on with public body comment. Public body comment? Oh, sorry, Jake.
I've been coming to a lot of meetings, and I had
A couple of opinions I would like to leave with people that are younger than I am, whether they're here or they're not here. If you're ever afraid to give your opinion at a public meeting, you will know you're in serious trouble. And I think that's what a lot of people have been scared, they've been afraid, they've been made fun of, they've been laughed at. The rules have been broken, there's no reason to sell the farm, there has never been any reason that we couldn't farm it. But we've been listening to someone that has no legal authority of any kind, his friend's sitting right here. I don't know why we keep doing this. If you ever have somebody tell you that you can't give a comment or you can't say anything in a public meeting, or you're afraid of them, or they're attacking you, or they're making fun of you, then you have a real problem because you have someone trying to control you. And that is just ridiculous. This is going on and on, and finally we have a group of people at a board meeting who will probably try to do, I think there's no doubt they'll try to do what's good for the public. I admire Tad for what he's doing. I admire every one of these people. I have no admiration for Kirk Allen. My opinion of Kirk Allen would be his biggest mistake, he's a poor excuse for a human being. Thank you.
Public body comment.
I got one. I agree with Jake. You shouldn't be scared to speak up at a public meeting. And you shouldn't be scared to place a bid in for the purchase of farm ground. And if you want to see what happens when you put a bid in for a purchase of farm ground, go look at that Facebook page and look at all the doxing that went on to that poor woman that put the bid in. It's shameful.
John, you have no...
I wasn't talking to you. I'm finished. I wasn't talking to you. 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 I wasn't talking to you.
It's ridiculous.
You're right, it is.
Public body comment. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I noticed that, I like where it's put on the agenda, who wanted the item on the agenda. I find it ironic that people requested items on the agenda aren't here. My question comes with, after reading what Mr. Bennett put on the agenda, do we know what the credentials are if Benford and Brown for a forensic audit? Do they have a certified broad certificate? Are they certified? Has anybody seen any certificate that qualifies them to do a forensic audit? If there's anyone here that's seen one or knows, I'd like to know. Because I think that's important, to know what the qualifications are. And if we haven't seen that, then that's concerning me. That is one point I would like to make. I'm glad to see the equipment being purchased for the county because I think it will alleviate future budgets, stuff that won't be budgeted in the future because we're getting it now with the grant money. I think that's wonderful. I think the departments have worked hard and a lot of equipment that they need that will help keep our county safe. I see a lot of public safety items on there, and I'm thrilled about that because public safety should be a #1 concern of anything. The other comment I'd like to make, I heard the little exchange go on there, and what I'd like to say is there's been just I get the point that a lot of people are trying to make, but similar pages, a page that popped up here around 7 years ago or 8, for quite some time, has some pretty brutal discussions tearing people apart as well. But people don't like to acknowledge that side of it. I think wrong is wrong, no matter who's doing it. There's a difference in stating an opinion and not tearing someone down. I think if anyone wants to look at every comment I've made, I have not gone and attacked people personally. The decisions, yes. Because I think it's important that we keep straight We're human beings, all of us in this room. Everybody's experienced hurt at some point in their life, and you don't want to cause other people hurt. Decisions, I think, are fair game. People, I don't think, are. And we need to remember that. We only can control ourselves. I can't control what anybody else says or does, but I can control what I say or do. And in every meeting, I've been respectful. I'm calm. I don't cuss at anybody. I'm polite. You may not like what I have to say. That's fine. Sometimes I don't like what you have to say. But I'd like you to remember, we're human beings. No matter what page you're on, or whose page you're on, we're human beings. And I want to say I appreciate the respect that was shown for Mr. Fagley in the press release, the words, and the moment of silence and the prayer. That's what community is about. That's what county is about, supporting people. And I appreciate that, and I look forward to this new board to see what they can do. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. Public body comment. Public body comment. Public body comment. Okay, thank you. All right, we will now move on to item 7, is discussion and vote to approve changes to the county board order of business. Have a motion, please, on item 7. Mr. Morris, motion. Mr. Price on second. Discussion or questions, I guess. For those of us that have been on the board, there's not a lot of significant change that was on there. The big change is the alignment of the legislative committee being pulled down and combined with budget. And so that committee will be responsible for budget as well as legislative related items and audit review, which then feed back into legislative. So in an effort to reduce the number of meetings and collate some of the folks that had an interest in those committees, that was the biggest change in there. Questions, discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Item 8, discussion of vote approve a 90-day contract extension with MyTech Solution for managed services. I have a motion on that. Mr. Ross, a second. All right. Ms. Boehm. Discussion, questions? Anything? No? Okay. This is, the intent is to kind of get us, with the new board, new folks to take a look at everything. So.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
How long is that contract normally?
1 year.
They've been 1-year contracts.
It's normally 1 year. It was supposed to be approved back in October, and Bobby did not get it put on the agenda. It was supposed to be done then in November, and Sonny did not get it put on the agenda, so I got passed to Tad for December, and he did not get it put on the agenda either. So we need a 90-day extension because right now you're not under contract.
Okay.
When you pay his bills, that's going to be rolled also,
Okay. All right. Any other questions, discussion? All right. All those in favor of extension of 90 days with MyTech Solutions, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. All right. Item 9, State's Attorney Ruth Woolery, a discussion and vote to approve the intergovernmental agreement between Shelby County and Shelbyville Township regarding the transfer of real estate commonly known as the Helton Cemetery. Have a motion, please. All right. Ms. Cole, a second. All right. Mr. Price. Any discussion? Or do you have anything
I'll
to
say
make?
any questions. I think the agreement speaks for itself. The township has been maintaining this property since it was acquired, and this would just transfer legal title to the township.
Any questions or discussion? Okay. On item 9, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Item 10, discuss and vote to approve the mutual aid system agreement with the Illinois Emergency Management Mutual Aid System. I have a motion on this, please.
Make a motion.
Ms. Matlock, second by Mr. Pritchard. All right, Mr. McKee, you're up.
Thank you. So I sent this 6 days ago. I know that wasn't a very long time, but it's a pretty short read. But basically this mutual aid agreement allows every emergency management agency in the state to intercooperate together free of charge, with the exception of if they get any third-party money from like a disaster, then they will share that money. So basically this allows me to go help other people in other counties, other emergency management agencies, and participate in training as well. So it's a pretty basic agreement.
Okay, thank you for that. Any questions for Mr. McKee or any discussion? No? Okay. And as it relates to item 10, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. McKee.
Thank you.
All right, item 11, discuss and vote to approve the following items. I've talked to Mr. Brown. I'm just going to run through these items, and then we'll go up for discussion on those, and then we'll be taken care of as a block. So discuss and vote to approve the following items. The resolution for the 2025 supplemental work agreement with Hammond & Reed Surveying Limited as outlined in the agreement. Hammond & Reed will not assist with NBIS bridge inspection, but bridge construction inspection only as needed. Next is a resolution for maintenance under the Illinois Highway Code for appropriation of funds for the 2025 MFT maintenance program. Next item is a resolution for improvement under the Illinois Highway Code for the inspection of the bridges as required per the FHWA for the 2025 calendar year engineering agreement as approved in the last meeting. The next item is a resolution for improvement under the Illinois Highway Code for the 2025 county engineer to utilize MFT funds for county engineer salary. Next item is a resolution appropriating funds for the payment of half of the salary for the county engineer's salary for 2025. Next item is a 50-50 petition with the Cold Springs Township Highway Commissioner to demolish and construct a new bridge, which is numbered SN 087-3397 on Route 54 west of County Highway 15, 500 north, 950 east, north of Herrick. And the final item is a resolution for compliance with the MFT for 2023. Can I have a motion for this block of items, please? All right, Mr. Brown, motion. I got a second from Mr. Yantis. Okay, Brown, all you.
Does anybody have any questions? I'm not the engineer, I'm pinch hitting for him, so I'll do the best I can to address any questions.
Do we have a dollar amount on the 50-50 petition with
No, we are actually just getting that started. There's a process to replacing a bridge, and it's a years-long process. We're just getting it started for that particular bridge.
So I guess to make sure it's just to initiate the process without obligation of any funds to the project.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Question for the clerk, if you would allow.
Sure.
The resolution for payment of half the salary, is that something new, or is that what we customarily do?
That's what we customarily do.
Okay,
I
thank you.
think just worded different.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Discussion? Anything else from Highway on that one?
No.
Okay. All right, seeing none, all those on item 11, which is discussion vote on the items that I just read, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. We'll move on to item 12, discussion and vote on ARPA purchases for animal control as approved by the Public Safety Committee for a total of $59,270.38. The items include a 2025 Chevrolet 3/4 ton SRW double cab long bed, which was a low bid from Leach Wilson Chevrolet of $44,533. The next item is a construction project to upgrade safety entrance door and privacy wall at animal control facility for $1,536.50. The next item is a storage shed Martin building from Joe's House and Home for $5,553. The next item is an RC24 animal restraint carrier, which would be two purchased at $143.99 each, totaling $287.98. North full face piece respirators and filters. The purchase would be two respirators at $199.95 each, for a total of $399.90, as well as four sets of filters at $32.50 each, for a total of $130, for a grand total of $529.90 for that item. Next item is two pull-proof vests for animal control wardens, two at $1,000 each, for a total of $2,000. Next item is security camera system from Eye in the Sky for $2,530. And the next item is a lawnmower for $2,300. Can I have a motion on item 12, please? Ms. Matlock, I've got a motion from Ms. Matlock, and I've got a second from Ms. Cole. Okay, item 12 for discussion. Questions, please. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question, and it's not pertaining just to animal control, as we're about to review a lot of expenditures for a lot of departments. Do these departments keep inventory of these items that we're purchasing? Because in past audits, there's been a lot of unaccounted for equipment. And again, it's not animal control, it's not any single department. I'm just thinking if they haven't in past, as past practice, maybe moving forward, because we do have a lot of expensive items here that can easily walk away. That I think it would probably be a good idea to keep some sort of, the department heads keep some type of inventory item, just for, even for insurance sake, if something does come up missing. I mean, with my homeowner's insurance, I have to have a list of items that I would want replaced. I think it would be a good idea that we ask department heads to inventory these items. I know it's a pain, but just so we know, you know, that's a lot of taxpayer dollars going out. I know it's ARPA, but that's grant money, still tax money. So I think it would be a good idea that we ensure that these are inventoried.
It's fair practice. It sounds like a pretty good first assignment for the new budget legislative audit committee.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll write that down and we can add that to that agenda. Thank you. Any further discussion or questions? Yes, sir.
How much ARPA money do we have available to obligate?
As of the last report provided to the treasurer last week, it was $1,354,053.21 left to be obligated.
Oh, thank you.
In regard to the public body comment a while ago, was there a plan to dispose of, or what's the plan for the truck that was purchased within the last year for animal control?
So in conversation with Ms. Miller, the intent will be to surplus that from the department. I know she has talked to Highway and some other agencies to see if they would have an interest in that, but the intent would be to surplus that. I think she even had somebody from another state agency call that said that something like that for their department with the smaller box might be useful. So,
Is there a containment box with this truck, or is that something to be purchased later?
oh, the new truck?
Yes.
Is to be purchased later. In fact, I got a quote today from Animal Control on that.
Is this just a bare truck, or is it cabin chassis, or is there a bed on this truck?
It's cabin chassis. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
I think she asked about the old truck too, but weren't you going to keep the old truck, Brad?
Yeah.
So, because they need it for a second vehicle.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Teresa Bain,
Yes.
Tim Brown,
Yes.
Carol Cole,
Yes.
Julie Edwards,
Yes.
Chrissy Grant,
Yes.
Jeff Gregg,
Yes.
Christy Matlock,
Yes.
Tad Mayhaw,
Yes.
Tim Morse,
Yes.
Gene Price,
Yes.
Austin Pritchard,
Yes.
Sonny Ross,
Yes.
Larry Seifert,
Yes.
Don Tate,
Yes.
Christy Walker, Chad Yanis.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Move on to item 13, discuss and vote on ARPA purchases for the Shelby County Dive Team as approved by the Public Safety Committee for a total of $114,020. Items include a 2025 Chevy Silverado 3/4 ton custom 6.5 foot bed with a low bid from Leach Wilson Chevrolet, $48,158. Lighting, radio, and installation on the 2025 Chevy Silverado by quote from Global Tech Systems for $7,234. The 2025 Argo Aurora Pro 950 SAR, the low bid from O'Callville Equipment for $35,268. Lighting and installation on the 2025 Argo Aurora by quote from Global Tech Systems of $4,467. A cargo glide bed slide and fiberglass topper for the 2025 Chevy Silverado by quote from Brown's Truck Accessories for $4,710. A 14-foot Aluma 8214HS utility trailer with a low bid from Kate's Trailer Sales for $7,423. And 8 Peregrine TX die computers and Swift bundles for $6,760. May I have a motion for item 13, please? Item Ms. Bain, we got a second from Mr. Yantis. Okay, question, discussion? Yes, sir.
In the current dive house, do we have enough room to store all this extra equipment?
There was another vehicle that was in there at one point, so.
So we do have the room?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that was my only concern.
Yes, thank you for that.
I'd like to make a point that the dive team at the, I believe it was the July 2023 meeting, resigned en masse, and the dive team was inactive, I believe, for 8 months. Frankly, I have a hard time buying all these goodies for the dive team if the dive team might choose to do that again. So, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I will respond to that. These purchases are for organizations and departments within the county, but not for specific people that might be in those particular spots at this point.
Something was brought up about the computers. I didn't understand this one when we had the public safety meeting. These aren't computers like we have at home and stuff. These are equipment used in the diving process for the divers. It's a safety thing for them, is what it is.
But how many calls were there last year?
I'm sorry.
It's a safety issue for the divers.
Thank you. Any other questions, discussion? Okay, seeing no, roll call vote, please.
Teresa Bain,
Yes.
Tim Brown,
No.
Carol Cole,
Yes.
Julie Edwards,
Yes.
Chrissy Grant,
Yes.
Jeff Gregg,
Yes.
Christy Matlock,
Yes.
Tad Mayhaw,
Excuse me, yes.
Tim Morse,
Yes.
Gene Price,
Yes.
Austin Pritchard,
Present.
Sonny Ross,
Yes.
Larry Seifert,
Yes.
Don Tate,
Yes.
Christy Walker,
Yes.
Chad Yanis.
Yes.
Motion passes with 14 ayes, 1 nay, Tim Brown, and 1 present, Austin Pritchard.
Okay, thank you. On item 14, discussion vote on ARPA purchases for the Shelby County Rescue Squad for a total of $92,655.13. The list goes as follows. A 2025 Polaris Ranger Crew XP 1000 Premium by quote from Owen Motorsports for $20,550. A 2025 Cross Trailer 8.5 foot by 16 foot enclosed cargo trailer by quote from Cates Trailer Sales for $9,773. A 2-pack Mighty Strut System with quote from High Tech Rescue for $9,699.99. And all of the following items are from Amicus, Ion, and so I'll go with their numbers, which is an IC70 Flex Volt Cutter by quote from, is it Dingus Fire Company for $12,000.95. An IS32 Flex Volt Spreader by quote from Dingus Fire Company for $14,312.90. And an ITR 500 Flex Volt Ram by quote from Dingus Fire Company for $10,918.95. Next item is a Great Wall Rescue Tube JPZ Rescue Auger by quote from Dingus Fire Company for $3,795. An automated external defibrillator and case by quote from Vital Education and Supply for $2,198. An 18-team Wendy Xfill SAR tactical helmets and visors by quote from All Hands Fire Equipment for $9,406.34. Can I have a motion on item 14, please? And Mr. Ross, have a second. I have Ms. Matlock in the back. Questions or discussion? Mr. Yantis.
Same question I had before. Do we have room to store this inside?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Bain,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Edwards,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Mayhaw,
Yes.
Morse,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Pritchard,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Seibert,
Yeah.
Tate,
Yes.
Wofford,
Yes.
Yanis.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Item 15, discuss and vote to approve ARPA purchases for Shelby County Airport as approved by the Shelby County Airport Commissioners for a total of $235,000 or $235,679. First item, replace 6 Powerlift hydraulic hangar doors delivered and installed with bid from Powerlift Doors of Iowa and Young's Custom Ag Services for $189,214. Next item is the Say Weather Pro weather station and online data subscription and barometric pressure sensors. Both have a 12-month subscription with a quote from Connect 6 LLC for $22,265. And the last item is a John Deere Z99 7R diesel 72-inch zero-turn commercial mower with a 3-year warranty for 1,500 hours with no hours on the first 2 years by quote from Sloan Implement for $24,200. Can I have a motion on item 15, please? Ms. Cole, got a motion?
I need to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, can we get a motion then? Motion in a
Make a
second.
motion.
Okay, Mr. Pritchard, in a second. Okay.
On the Powerlift Doors of Iowa, it's just that the Young's Custom
Okay.
Ag Service should not be on there.
Copy that. We'll make a motion just to amend that line then to remove that?
Yes.
Got a motion on that? The second on that, Mr. Price? All those in favor on the amendment to the remove and Young's Custom Ag Service, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, back to the original motion. Any discussion? Mr. Tate?
The weather station and data subscription, what will, that's a 1-year contract. What's the cost going to be beyond that? Does anyone know?
Can I ask Scott? Scott, do you know?
I believe it was $800 a year.
Okay.
But that could be in our budget.
I understand. I just wanted to make sure that was
Yeah.
going to be another $4,000 or $5,000.
Oh, yeah.
Ms. Fowler?
Which hangar doors is it replacing?
we're replacing 6 hangar doors on the oldest set of T hangars, which would be the north set of T hangars.
Any other questions, discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Bain,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Edwards,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Mayhall,
Yes.
Morse,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Pritchard,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Seifert,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Wofford,
Yes.
Yanis.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Great, thank you. Move on to item 16, discussion and vote to approve request for ARPA funds for the Shelby County Probation Department, with an estimated cost of $55,000. First item is a 2025 Ford Explorer police utility with radio equipment, tent, and lettering. Next item are armored vest. Next item is a gun safe. The final item being 1,000 rounds of training ammo. Have a motion on this item, please. Got Mr. Morse. I've got Mr. Pritchard in the back. Questions, discussion? I'll just add that this vehicle came from the state bid program with the assistance from several folks in the room on helping Ms. Wade get through the process, so I appreciate everybody helping her.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Ross?
Chairman? Yes, thank you. So is this an up to $55,000 amount, or?
I think the,
I attached the bid for the vehicle that just would need to be signed that you got in your read ahead material. So the vehicle is 47. That included an upgrade because this vehicle would need a cage. It does not need lights. It does not need wiring harnesses. The few transports we will do will be with non-custodial individuals. And then I did include delivery. So if you guys didn't want to do delivery, we could take maybe a vehicle up and pick it up, but it's several hours away. So that was $300. And I didn't include license and title because I would assume Jessica would help me, or someone might, Sheriff's Department might assist me in doing that, because the last vehicle we had was a van, and it surplus last year sometime.
You sent us a pretty detailed list, read ahead, of outlining what each thing was with each cost, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought I saw that. Thank you,
Yeah,
Mr.
and
Chairman.
there were 2 options. Those were the options. The delivery was the only additional option, and then an upgrade on the package because I don't need a CAD system. I need a radio. The quote for that's included. That can be signed. And then lettering, I wasn't sure which lettering package to use. If you guys wanted to have an opinion, you could. And also the tenting, I didn't know the difference between the ceramic tent and the regular tent. So one is $50 more. I was just going to leave it to you guys to decide.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
yep, we'll get you taken.
And then the other was the safe and the ammo. I did not include a quote. If it could be approved, I could go to a local, I'm assuming Locked and Loaded is the closest. I've used Accuracy Firearms for weapons in the past. Someone bring a quote back to you by next week and give you a total for you to approve. So that's what was approximate. The vehicle, once signed, it can be ordered. It would be brand new.
Yeah, so I mean, if it looks like you're going to go over your 55,000, then we would make an amendment. Otherwise, otherwise I wouldn't see a need to make an amendment to this. So, Mr. Yanis?
How big a gun safe are you looking for?
We only have handguns, so I do not need anything that wouldn't have handguns and ammo. My issue becomes, I transport it back and forth so it's safe at home. When I'm in the office, I have a small safe, but I don't have a place to keep ammo in the building where I feel safe to leave it. So it does not need to be built.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question. Is 1,000 rounds what you normally have, and is that sufficient?
I have an officer getting ready to do training, so it takes about 750 rounds. So I have 1,000 right now, but then just when we're allowed to go out and train.
I just want to make sure that 1,000 rounds is sufficient.
Yeah, we'll keep 1,000 on hand, and we'll be able to
Okay.
purchase. I think it was 250. I mean, it's just an extra 1,000 for her training.
Okay,
And
very
it's-
good. Thank you.
Yeah, and this whole concept's new still to your office of having
Very,
weapons
very
available.
much. And I do want to add that I keep inventory. I know that was an issue that you brought up. We have inventory of everything in our office, including every round spent, every piece of equipment in our office. It's turned into the auditor every year through Jessica when she requests it, and she keeps track of that for us. It's not only in the office, but it is on file with the county. So all our equipment's inventory.
Thank you. Any additional questions, discussion?
And then one last thing.
I just want to say thank you to Jessica and her staff for everything they do, because this is overwhelming, and we just appreciate all their help.
Yeah, I'll concur with that, so thank you for that. All right, any additional questions on item 16? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Bain,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Edwards,
No.
Grant,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Mayhall,
Yes.
Morse,
Yeah.
Price,
Yes.
Pritchard,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Seifert,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Wofford,
Yes.
Yanis.
Yes.
Motion passes 15 ayes, 1 nay, Edwards.
Okay, thank you for that. All right, on to item 17, discuss and vote to approve ARPA purchases for the courthouse for a total of $16,393.17. First item is select interiors estimate for carpet in courtroom B, the upstairs hallway, jury room B, judges' chambers, second floor, the circuit clerk, state's attorney, and probation offices for material cost of $10,305.91. Next item is labor for carpet removal and installation of $4,649.07. And the last item is select interiors estimate for Alta roller shades, lower level offices, Alta roller shades for the second floor, 2-inch wood blinds, recover curved valance for $1,438.19. I have a motion on item 17, please. Okay. Ms. Grant, I got Ms. Cole as a second. Questions? Discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Bain,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Edwards,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Mayhall,
Yes.
Morse,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Pritchard,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Seifert,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Wofford,
Yes.
Yanis.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Great, thank you. Item 18, discussion vote for ARPA purchases for the sheriff's office for a total of $19,931.26. Items that included are 2 replacement servers for off-site data replication, $17,479.98. A broadband antenna for the Couny tower upgrade for $2,451.28. And that's it for item 18. I have a motion on item 18, please. I've got Mr. Price and I've got Mr. Pritchard. Discussion? Questions? Can I confirm this is back to earlier this year, one of the items that we discussed on trying to improve communications to the south. This will help with that effort. Correct. $2,500. Yep, thank you for that. Thank you for the work on it too. Any other questions on this one? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Bain,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Edwards,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Mayhall,
Yes.
Morse,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Pritchard,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Seifert,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Wofford,
Yes.
Yanis.
Yep.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. On item 19, discussion vote to approve the use of ARPA funds in the amount of $29,750 for Seth Muller at Duckett's Carpet Care to deep clean the courthouse. I have a motion on this item, please. Yeah, Ms. Matlock, we've got Ms. Bain. Discussion. Mr. Ross.
When do you anticipate this work will be done?
That's a great question. So I believe in the conversation with Mr. Mueller that the intent is to still work with the sheriff over the course of the next week on additional construction projects in this courthouse. So there will be another meeting next week. I've already talked with the clerk about getting that scheduled to get the final items that he's been working on in this courthouse, also through a bid process for the courtroom, some accessibility issues, bathroom upgrades, stuff that he's been working with the judge and the other department heads on. So ideally, the county comes in once that project's complete.
So it's fair to say that although this is a carpet cleaner, we're not paying to clean carpets that we anticipate to remove, but later to clean up after construction projects take place inside the courthouse.
Yeah, the scope is full clean,
Yep.
up and down. Yes.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Seth realizes it could be several months, to answer your question, son, that, it could be in the summer. So, yeah, because they don't want to clean anything until all the construction is taken care of.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Bain,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Edwards,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Mayhall,
Yes.
Morse,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Pritchard,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Seifert,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Wofford,
Yes.
Yanis.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. On item 20, discussion vote to approve the use of ARPA funds in the amount of $10,680 for Brooks Creek Cedar to install a chain link fence for the Mental Health 708 Board. I have a motion on this item, please. Mr. Ross, give a second. Ms. Bain, questions? Did you want to comment on the reason?
This is the community services building is what we're talking about. And that property is adjacent to an apartment complex and a trailer court. And sometimes people walk through this property and they've been found drug paraphernalia laying out there. And with the clients that are in that building and stuff, they feel like this is a safety issue for the clients. So they want to put this fence up to keep people from walking through there.
Any other questions, discussion on this item? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Bain,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Edwards,
Yes.
Grant, yes, Gregg,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Mayhall,
Yes.
Morse, Price,
Yes.
Pritchard,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Seifert,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Wofford,
Yes.
Yanis.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. On to item 21, discuss and vote to approve the purchase of a 2015 Case IH Farmall 138 front wheel assist tractor for the Shelby County Highway Department from Siegel Equipment Company for $62,000 with half, $31,000 being paid from ARPA. I have a motion on this one, please. Mr. Brown, second. And Mr. Antis, any discussion? Yes, ma'am.
Since it's not a new piece of equipment, are they offering a warranty for even 90 days, a year, something? You know? I mean, typically a new piece, I'm curious if they offered anything.
No.
I know. Well, that's a problem. Okay.
Does the piece of equipment cost $62,000 and we're only going to do $31,000?
Yes.
Do they have the money for the other part of
Yes.
it? Okay.
Yeah, so Mr. Tappendorf and I spoke this week, and he looked through his budget and to help spread ARPA around, was able to find this item and the next item in his budget to do half.
Okay.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I just clarify, this is not a replace, this is an additional piece of equipment for the highway department. We have a tractor, it's not a front wheel assist, I don't know if you're experienced with that, but when they mow slanted ditch sides, a front wheel assist holds onto the ground a lot better than simply a rear wheel tractor. Gives them a lot of options, they'll spend less time constantly taking one attachment off the tractor and putting it on another. And it would be very helpful to the highway department. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Bain,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Edwards, yes, Grant,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Matlock. Did you say one first?
No.
Mayhall,
Yes.
Morse,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Pritchard,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Seifert,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Wofford,
Yes.
Yanis.
Yes.
Motion passes 15 ayes, 1 nay, Matlock.
Thank you. Item 22, discussion and approve purchase of a 2019 Case 580 SN backhoe from Berkey's Equipment Company for $81,000, with half, $40,050 being paid from ARPA funds. I have a motion on that, please. Mr. Brown, second. Mr. Yantis. Any questions or discussion on this item? Yes, ma'am.
Same question.
No.
Even, okay.
Is this a front wheel assist, extended hoe, or?
It's an extended hoe, yes. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say this actually is a replace. We will probably hold on to the old backhoe, but the old backhoe has about 10,000 hours on it. If you're familiar with diesel engines, that's kind of pushing the lifetime of the piece of equipment. So,
Is the front bucket a clam bucket?
I'm sorry?
Is the front bucket a clam bucket?
No, it's not.
Okay, appreciate that.
I'd recommend it was, but that's second.
I have a lot of faith in the highway department to shop for and choose their equipment. So.
Yeah. Mr. Yantis.
So I sat in on the Road and Bridge Committee meeting Monday night, and that was a question that I brought up, was about the clam bucket on the front. And Mr. Kappendorf, his reasoning behind that was they could not find one with 4-in-1 bucket under 100,000. And they emphasized that their machine was getting old, was showing a lot of signs of wear, and it could use to be updated.
Thank you for that. Mr. Price.
I just want to point out the typo error on that.
Okay.
Half of 81,000 is 40,500, not 40,000.
Yeah. I would like to blame somebody else, but I will take the, pretty sure I did that. So, yeah, no, thank you that. So would you like to make that amendment, please?
Sure. Second it.
Okay. All right, all those in favor of the amendment to say half is 40,500, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. The math guy. All right, any other discussion? Okay. Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Bain.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Cole.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Grant. Yes. Gregg.
Yes.
Matlock.
No.
Mayhall.
Yes.
Morse.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Pritchard.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Seifert.
Yes.
Tate.
Yes.
Wofford.
Yes.
Yanis.
Yes.
Motion passes 15 ayes, 1 nay, Matlock.
Okay, thank you. Seeing on items 23, 24, 25.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Yes, sir.
I understand Mr. Bennett is not here. This question was raised in public body comment. I actually have information that I would be willing to share if you would allow a moment on item 23.
Sure, I can open up 23. So would you, so discuss and vote to approve the division of ambulance funds to all fire protection districts of the county.
I will make a motion to do that.
Okay, you have a second?
I'll second.
Second?
So this item was brought up earlier in public body comment, and I would like to address it. In public safety, quite some time ago, this issue was brought up. It was discovered that the previous board, 2021, voted unanimously to not engage in the ambulance business. That's what prompted Shelbyville to start their licensing procedure. And what we discovered, that resolution was on, to tax that was on a referendum, and the referendum specifically stated that that money was only to go to ambulance services that were engaged by contract with the county. We had no ambulance services engaged with the county by contract, and so those funds stopped being dispersed. That was under counsel of State's Attorney Rob Hanlon. That was ceased. The ambulance services seemingly understood that. The plan at that time was to do a disbursement back to the taxpayers. The county board, once those monies stopped being distributed, in order to prevent them accruing, the levy was zeroed. So there are no more funds being added to the ambulance fund. Conversations were had between myself, the clerk, and the treasurer that once we were certain all of those funds were in-house, in hand, then the county could determine with legal counsel what best methods to disperse that money would be. When we even started talking about giving it back to the taxpayers, that is such a gigantic lift that it would literally cost the county more money in all of the effort to do that than what the taxpayers would actually get. It was not a viable solution. So the issue has not been discussed or brought up in public safety for quite some time due to the nature of waiting for the money to come in and be done, and then let public safety or legislative, whoever wants to take it up with legal counsel, and just determine how to do that. I would encourage a no vote on this agenda item because it flies directly in the face of the resolution that was passed by the taxpayers. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Withdraw your motion.
Yes, sir. I'd like to withdraw my motion.
Okay. Forget I did a second for that. Do you remember?
I seconded it.
Can we just vote it down and be done with it?
You can vote that down. All right. You just want to bring it
Yeah, I would like to leave my motion on the floor and highly encourage, I think, our legal representation, given the little bit of information that she already has, will suggest that we vote no.
All right, you still got your second? All right. Any other discussion on this? Mr.
I
Taylor?
have one comment about it when he says to the fire districts within the county. I know per se that I don't like to not take money away from the Sturgeon Fire District, but I know that none of the money was collected from the citizens in the Sturgeon Fire District. So we need to research this considerably before we vote on how to do this.
Mr. Chairman, if I can, that added another layer of complexity because in your example, Stewartson Fire and Ambulance, their tax base for their district pays them. They did not, that tax base of Stewartson Fire and Ambulance did not pay into this ambulance fund. So when we speak in terms of distribution, it becomes very, very complex how to split the different entity, the different fire protection districts, ambulance services out. It's a mess.
Any other questions or discussion? Okay, so all those in favor to approve the division of the ambulance fund, say aye. All those opposed, say no.
No. No.
Thank you. All right. Item 24, is anybody willing to pick up item 24? All right, for lack of a motion, item 24 doesn't come out. How about anybody willing to pick up item 25? For lack of a motion, item 25 does not get picked up. Item 26, discuss and vote to approve a forensic audit of the county treasurer's office for a time frame determined by the board. Do I have a motion? I have a motion, Mr. Brown. Any seconds?
I'll second.
I have a second. Discussion?
Mr. Chairman, do we have the statutory authority and ability to conduct a forensic audit on a sitting elected official? That's my main question.
I will say that I am not aware of anything, and without putting you on the spot, if you don't have anything to say, that's fine, but I don't know. I don't know.
So this might not be legal to do.
Yeah, I don't have the ability at this point to say one way or the other.
Thank you.
During public body comment, the cost of this was addressed. I honestly do not know what the cost would be, but I have to think that it would be a relatively simple audit. There's not multiple locations, there's not outbuildings, there's not equipment that I know of other than office equipment. Also, I believe our treasurer would be fully cooperative, so yes, there would be a cost, although I think the cost would be somewhat minimal. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I move we table this.
I've got a motion to table.
Till we can find out some more information.
I have a second, Ms. Grant. All those in favor of tabling item 26, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
I'm opposed.
Was that 3?
3. Item 26 then fails. Or is tabled, correct? Okay. Item 27, discuss and take a vote of confidence or no confidence for Shelby County Treasurer Erica Fernhammer, excuse me. Do I have a motion?
I'll withdraw well, actually, I didn't make a motion, but I did the agenda item. I'll withdraw the agenda item until we decide to do an audit and vote on doing an audit.
Item 27 fails for lack of motion. Item 28, discuss and vote to declare the following vehicles as surplus. The 2016 Ford Police Interceptor Utility with VIN number 1, Foxtrot Mike 5 Kilo 8 Alpha R8GGA 37323, and a 2017 Ford Police Interceptor Utility 1 FM 5K8 AR 6HGE 42520. I have a motion on these items, please. Mr. Tate, do I have a second? Mr. Morris, these are for the Sheriff's Department. Any questions or discussion on the surplus of these items? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 29, discuss and vote to approve the resolution to make amendments to the predictable fee schedule effective January 1st of 2025 for the county clerk and recorder's office pursuant to the Public Act 103-0884. Do I have a motion on this item, please? Ms. Matlock, and a second. Mr. Pritchard. Any questions or discussion on item 29? You should have received a schedule for those items. If you don't have that, I have a copy of it here.
We got a copy.
Okay, if anybody needs to see it, I've got it. All right, any other discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Item 30, discussion vote to approve the calendars of the regularly scheduled board meetings, committee meetings for the 2025 calendar year in accordance with 5 ILCS 120/2.02. I have a motion on that, please. Ms. Matlock, Mr. Tate. Any questions on the 2025 schedule for board meetings and committee meetings? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Item 31, committee reports? No. Kind of hard to think we have too many committee reports before we assign committees at this point. So, all right, seeing none, chairman updates. At this point, the only update I want to make is with the sensitivity of making appointments to an office where somebody has passed away. There have been discussions. I've had a lot of discussions since last Friday afternoon, which began with the sheriff and went through the evening and has gone up to this point. I've been presented names. I've had conversations with interested individuals. Again, with a special meeting next week, you know, our intent is to get the rest of these items taken care of next week. So apart from that, I don't have any other updates. We'll move on to item 33, which is chairman appointments. So discussion and vote to approve the county board committees, as well as Christine Matlock and myself to AFSCME and FOP contract negotiations, and is this still right for?
Yes.
And then Robin Carswell to the Mental Health 708 Board. Can I have a motion on these items, please?
So moved.
Mr. Pritchard, I got Ms. Baines in second. All right, everybody has a copy of their assignments, I assume. If anybody need a copy of it, you can have it. So I require to review that. Again, big change here was that the budget was combined with legislative, and as it relates to public safety, 2 comments there. I currently will stay as chair of public safety for a couple of months to take the new members and to guide them through. I don't want to hand that off right away to somebody and be like, hey, run a committee and be a new board member. I think a lot of us got kind of put into that situation a couple of years ago, and it's an awful lot to learn. Not only this nuance of doing the business of the county, but also to run a committee, it's a little bit. So we'll give it a couple of months, we'll get through that process. And then also we'll be working with Mr. Ross as we continue with getting everything taken care of for the rescue squad. And I believe he'll be working directly with Ms. Edwards and Mr. Yantis on those items, with the hopes of getting all that to us next month. But, you know, things happen, so it may not quite get there. We know it's a big lift. And we've had a reach out too from Sangamon County, who's going through the same process we are on this. So I gave Mr. Ross a contact, and they're wanting to share work and cooperate with us as they're kind of going through this process as well. So with that, any other discussion?
Does Ms. Edwards and Mr. Yantis need to be an official chair appointment?
No, we'll just kind of leave it the same under that position. So, yes, sir.
Regarding the union, the ASME negotiation,
Yes.
Michael Tappendorf made it very clear to me he would like to be included in that and be a part of that. That's your decision, but I just wanted to let you know.
Sure. I think that they can attend, right? They can attend those things for sure. So thank you for that. All right. Any other questions, discussion? All right. All those in favor of the appointments that are listed, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. On to 34, correspondence. I do have 2 items that were sent to me. One is from the Christian County Board as it relates to the agreement between the county of Shelby and Christian for 911 emergency telephone service. And it reads as follows: Dear Chairman, at the direction of the Christian County Board, this letter is to rescind the notice of desire to renegotiate the current intergovernmental agreement between the county of Christian and the county of Shelby for the enhanced 911 emergency telephone service, hereinafter referred to as the agreement, dated June 21st of 2016. Such notice of desire to renegotiate was sent to the prior chairman December 19th of 2023. Given this, the agreement, which has had an original effective date of January 1st of 2017, with an initial term of 5 years, with renewal for successive 1-year periods thereafter, shall continue in effect pursuant to Section 3 thereof, with the next annual renewal to commence January 1st of 2025. Please note, we continue the right to periodically review the terms of this agreement. Sincerely, and signed by Brian Sharp, who is the chairman of the Christian County Board. The last piece that I have is from the Office of the Chief Judge of the 4th Judicial Circuit, dated November 27th of 2024, and it reads as follows. Dear County Board Chairman, please accept this letter as confirmation that a majority of the 4th Circuit judges have signed the appointment orders for Shelby County Public Defender Brad Rao and Conflict Public Defender Aaron Heckert, effective December 1st of 2024, cordially signed by Chief Judge Martin W. Seamer. All right. I will move on to item 36, which is approval of the county claims. Do I have a motion to approve the claims? Ms. Bain, and a second by Mr. Tate. Any discussion?
Do we have any old business?
Did I miss old business? I did miss old business. All right. I'll come back to it. Okay, thank you. Mark off the wrong one. Thank you. All right. Do we have any amendments to?
There was one that there was a sales tax on somebody's bill that was submitted, and it's been taken care of. Okay. And they were given the letter that they're not supposed to, we don't pay sales tax and stuff, and I gave them a copy of the letter. And I think Jessica was going to put the copy of the letter out on the webpage for everybody, so a reminder that we pay hotel tax, but we don't pay sales tax.
And do we have an amendment to add a bill back in that was previously discussed?
We approved it, we just marked.
I'm sorry, from a previous
Oh,
month.
okay, for them.
So, thank you first.
On
You're
it.
good with that? Okay, so do you have that with you for the amount?
I know it was like 700.
I may have it.
37, I think, and some change.
Okay.
37, 50 maybe.
I don't guess I have it.
Is that it?
Yes, that's a copy of the actual ordinance itself.
Okay. We'll make a motion to, okay, this.
I would like to make a motion to amend the claims to include a charge from Benford and Brown in the amount of $7,837 and some change.
I have a motion for amendment. I have a second. I have a second by Ms. Bain. Any discussion on the amendment? All right, all those in favor of the amendment say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, back to the original motion on paying the claims. Any further discussion on paying the bills? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Bain,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Edwards,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Mayhall,
Yes.
Morse,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Pritchard,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Seifert,
Yeah.
Tate,
Yes.
Wofford,
Yes.
Yanis.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Going in reverse, I'd like to go back to any old business. Do you have any old business? Yes.
Tad, I don't know if this falls under old business, but I don't know where else it falls under, so. As a board, we received, a draft of the Shelby County Dive Team Audit. I'm not gonna go over the details because it is still in its draft phase. But I would ask that the legislative committee, when they meet, kind of review the summary page, address those issues, and bring to the board at the next maybe meeting, or at least an update at the next meeting of how we're going to address those findings, some of those findings in there. Tonight was a very efficient meeting, and I love the way it ran. I have no problem with that. But I would like to, continuing that, see things buttoned up and moved on in all audits and everything going forward. So since this is the one that's in front of us right now, I would like just the legislative committee to consider reviewing that and reporting back to the board anyway with any of the findings, please and thank you.
Thank you for that. Any other old business?
I don't know whether it's old business, but an update on the clock. After my third trip up there, we pretty well nailed down what movements we need. And I've got a mason and an electrician going to have bids, and everything should be bid and ready for next week.
Thank you. So, if you couldn't hear, there's been an effort by Mr. Morris to work on getting the clock hands moving again. And so he's found contractors to help make that happen, to machine up the tools and get all that happen. So he's been working with the sheriff and some other folks. So appreciate, we're going to go through, get the courthouse done, and get the clock working. So thank you for that. Anything else? All right, seeing none. Item 37, public body comment. Public body comment. Mr. Cole?
Yeah, Ted, I want to appreciate you running the meeting with 38 or 39 items in less than an hour and a half. It was a very professional man.
Thank you for that. Yes, sir.
A couple items. With the ETSB agreement with, what was that, Christian County? I think you read the correspondence.
Oh, yes, sorry, the 911?
Yeah.
Yes.
You might want to check and see if auto-renew contracts are valid. I don't believe they are. That's what you're reading. It was a 5-year that automatically renewed every year. I believe the board needs to vote on that every year.
But, you know, ask your legal advisor and maybe she can give you an opinion on that. The second thing was Mr. Pritchard voted present on a vote to purchase things for the dive team. And I was wondering if that was because you believe there was a conflict of interest in you voting yes or no, or why you would vote present. And if you vote present because you didn't want to give the appearance of a conflict of interest, there was more of the appearance when you show up to a committee meeting and sit there and talk on all the purchases and urge the committee to approve the purchases. That's more of a conflict than voting yes or no. And additionally, present or abstention goes with the majority vote. So if the majority voted yes, then you're recorded as a yes. And if there's a conflict, you realize there's a conflict.
No, you're not.
And maybe you should resign from one position or the other, because you can't be a department head and be a county board member. And that's all I have. Thanks.
Thanks. Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to ask Mr. Kraft.
You could ask me.
I'd like to know how he can make those statements. We have a state's attorney who I'm sure has been consulted with regarding Mr. Pritchard being a member of this board and also being the dive commander. And I would urge everyone to listen to our elected state's attorney and not a gentleman from another county who neither pays taxes here nor has a law degree. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Shanks?
Ted, maybe you or a state's attorney could answer this question for me. I've never seen any legislation that indicates that present vote is recorded as an affirmative vote. Are you aware of that? Or?
I can't say that I would know one or the other, so I mean,
I'd like to see where that's at in the statutes.
Yeah, thank you for that. Public body comment. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I wanted to say I appreciate how the meeting was ran. I've been here 5 hours for a meeting before with plus agenda items and a ton of contention. I didn't feel that tonight, and I'm grateful for that because I think it's a first step to healing in our county. And what I tell a lot of people, and I tell my kids, don't give people weight or value that deserve none. And I think that there are people that have been given weight or value that deserve none, that cause chaos and division. We do have a state's attorney. Now, I don't know if what Mr. Kraft gave was his opinion or if he was giving legal advice. I don't know. But the last I heard, if you don't have a law license, you shouldn't be practicing law without a license. And I did not hear him phrase that as my opinion. So, if we are going to follow along someone that has no law license that I'm aware of, there could be potential problems with that. So I just want to say, I hope it continues on. It was a good meeting. Our county has got a lot of good equipment coming that will keep us safe. Number one priority of the county, our safety. So I'm appreciative. And let's keep marching on and don't give people weight or value who deserve none. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
As I recall listening to him, he did say you need to check with your attorney. He said you need to get legal counsel. He didn't say that he was an attorney. He gave an opinion and said you should check with legal counsel.
Public body comment. Public body comment. Yes, sir.
Alex Shanks, I just want to say I want to thank this board for working together with the ARPA money in a fair way to make sure that all of our first responders have more tools at their service and that they're better safe and that they can operate in a more efficient manner. I think that benefits the community as a whole, and I think that's what our leaders should enable and help do going forward. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Shanks.
And thank you, guys.
Public body comment? Yes, sir.
Just kind of with Alex led off there, I just want to say thank you on behalf of Shelby County Rescue and all the members for working and getting us this equipment. It's something we would have struggled with our budget to get, to be put forth and used in a good manner for the people and the visitors of Shelby County in the future. So, I want to Julie Kamek, your chief. Jessica, thanks for what you do for us, and like they're saying too, very well ran board meeting, Mr. Chairman.
Good. Thanks for that. Yeah, thanks for what you guys do as well. Appreciate it. Public body comment? Public body comment? Yes, sir.
Not really a comment for that, but for those that don't know me, I'm David Woods. I'm with MyTech Solutions. I do a lot of work for the county. We manage the website and we manage our email. All the new members that came on had an email address to the county. You should have gotten a paper last month. If you have not got that email account set up, get a hold of me so we can get you set up with it. Also, check out the website and make sure that your information is correct on there and get any information that's missing to Jessica so she can get it updated for us.
Thank you. Public body comment? Public body comment? Public body comment? All right, with that, I got a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? I've got a second, Ms. Matlock. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, thanks everybody. Appreciate it. Stay warm.
Pretty good.
About probation things before, and I said I would vote no. So, yeah.